Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. It seems like about 2 weeks ago, I was talking about non-transforming Transformers, and now, today, and as you watch this video, it'll technically be yesterday, Hasbro announces a line of non-transforming Transformers. They're called Transformers Red 6-inch Action Figure Series Retired Extremely Dangerous. No, wait, it stands for Robot Enhanced Design. We're going to get into all this coming up. So the first thing I want to talk about is the price point of this line of figures. They are going to be $19.99 for 6-inch figure, packed probably similarly to what we have seen with Black Series or Marvel Legends, but have a bit of a twist on the Transformers. And with this, I'm telling the positives first, I think it looks good. I think these figures are going to look great on a shelf. They're going to look Ultra G1. They hit the aesthetic, and there's obvious reasons why you can't hit the aesthetic as well if you have a transforming Transformer at a $19 price point. Talking about this Megatron specifically, he cannot turn into a gun and be sold at US retail or many other retail spaces. So we'll never see a mass retail release of Megatron transforming into a gun unless it is a specialty item, which would no longer make it a mass retail release. Kind of why I got the MP36, all the different KOs. I've got multiple third-party versions of Megatron because I know it transforming into a gun is going to happen. So this guy, you don't got to worry about that because he doesn't transform into anything, and he can look like whatever he wants, and they don't have to be held back by, of course, the issue of does it transform into a gun. Now, looking at Optimus does look pretty good. The aesthetic of this guy is great. Now, I start to wonder about the articulation. As an action figure, they should have a lot of articulation, like they have with Black Series, like they have with the Marvel Legends. I guess I don't really have any Marvel Legends, but the ankle tilt on this does look a little bit lacking, so maybe it's just the way they posed it. Who knows? But I do think it looks good. I think they're achieving something here that they couldn't quite achieve with Siege or Earthrise. So I have to admit that the Siege Earthrise looks good. I am still impressed with it every time I pick it up and handle it. But he still has kibble all over him that is seen from all sorts of angles. So when you look at this and you say, okay, here's kibble all over this guy, and with the action figure, you're not going to have it. So it does look a lot cleaner in their action figure line, the red action figure line, instead of the transformable one. And yeah, I know you're giving up a lot of stuff. So the positive is it looks a lot cleaner. And the same thing with this Megatron, this Netflix Megatron looks good. They're coming out with an Earthrise Megatron, and they're going to have this Megatron coming out. So when you look at this Netflix version, the Siege version with a repaint, the differences between these two, I think the one they're making as action figure looks a whole lot better than even this one with the Siege. I like the paint job on the Netflix Siege version, and I really haven't seen a whole lot about the new one, the Earthrise one that's coming, that is leaps and bounds better than this. It's not. I just think you compare them side by side, you'll have the same feeling comparing the new red version, the RED version, to the Earthrise version. It's going to feel the same. The RED is still going to look better, but it's not going to transform. Now, these figures are also going to have different display options. They're going to have accessories with them, just kind of like you would expect from a Black Series type figure. Swappable hands, that's going to be something that you're going to get with these guys. Obviously, you're going to get a Matrix, and there's going to be extras with each one, so that's really cool. But from these preliminary pictures, I don't want to get too negative yet, but I don't like the way you can see the Matrix through Prime's chest. I really hope they do something to that chest to kind of fix that problem. I think it's terrible that they do that. There should be something. I mean, I'm sure you put a sticker on it, Toy Hacks will come out with something, but we are already going to be getting into that whole situation already. And I would have liked to have had maybe a little bit of chrome in there, but I mean, then again, they're going for a tuned version. Gets into my next point. Expect repaints of these. If this does well enough, they're just going to repaint the heck out of these figures. So you get the first run of Prime, you're going to get a Prime with chrome, you're going to get different colors of Prime, maybe lead to Ultra Magnus, who knows, but we got more releases on that coming up. So the obvious first problem here is that this thing is not going to have an alt mode. So this whole line, you're not going to have alt modes. If you look and watch my other videos, that was an issue. The other video I made about non-transforming Transformers just a couple of weeks ago, that was one of my bigger issues, is in the Transformers universe, in your display, you're not going to have the option to display an alt mode from these figures. But then again, you have your transformable ones that you could put in an alt mode for that display, for that purpose. So, I mean, that kind of is where it is and how it is. But you definitely lose your two toys in one experience with these figures. Again, I'm linking my video talking about non-transforming Transformers down below. And go to 3 minutes 20 seconds if you want to hear specifically about how I compare them to Black Series and Marvel Legends. That's in there too. So my next issue has to do with scale, and are they going to scale well? So I've got a little clip to show you. Okay, so one potential issue with this toy line, a 6-inch line, is the fact that it's only 6 inches. So what I'm doing here is I'm showing you a representation of 6-inch Black Series figures. Now, Jango Fett is right at 6 inches, and Optimus, Megatron are right at the 7-inch mark. And if you can see that, yeah, the ruler right there can show you all of that. So looking at this, if you look at all of this, you just saw they're different franchises or whatever, but you could say a 6-inch line feels too small to mix with Chug. So I am a little hopeful in one way, and there's a couple of reasons for that. But if it truly is straight across the board, just a 6-inch line, then I will be a little disappointed if they can't mingle with your existing Chug. So this big collection of stuff you've got is now a different scale. You can't mingle them. But here's what gives me a little bit of hope. So you bring in Chewbacca, and obviously he towers over the rest of them, and he's still only the $20 price point. You have Bosk right here. He is the $20 price point, and he's almost up to the whole 7-inch. He's like 6.5 inches. He's a little bit bigger, but I mean, he's the one I thought of all of these that would be bigger without getting into the $30 price point. So staying at the $20 price point, it's possible that Prime and Megatron are closer to the 7 inches. And then you have other ones like as you can see here, they charge you $20 for Leia. And so here's Leia at 5 inches. She gets charged $20. Shorter, smaller. They definitely charge $20 for Yoda, and he's only like this tall. So when you think about all of this, it's possible that they're going to have multiple different sizes within their 6-inch scale, meaning that it could scale with Chug. We don't really know yet. Now, as for more future characters, one of the characters that is uncovered but not officially announced yet is Soundwave. Now, I think that Siege did a good job with Soundwave. I know that we've got an upcoming Soundwave for Earthrise that looks pretty good, but I'm interested in seeing how good this Soundwave looks coming from the red line. I mean, how awesome would Soundwave look if they had no transformation, no kibble, and just made an action figure? You know, like Action Masters. Another figure that is uncovered is Arcee, but I think the listing for Arcee is actually just the one that's already coming for Earthrise. But I do believe Arcee is one of the top characters that could use this. They could use the red treatment, the action figure treatment. Without all of the kibble and just make her look just like the cartoon, that would be an instant sell for me. And I would also like to see, well, we'll talk about that coming up, what they should do with her in the future. And then they're also uncovered a Bumblebee, which could also be Earthrise, but it says Red Bumblebee, so Red Bumblebee, it has to be. Like an Action Master. This isn't a picture of it, this is simply just an Action Master one, I think. I don't even have this one in G1. But what could Bumblebee look like? Would Bumblebee look awesome if he had no issues? Didn't have the foot issues, didn't have the transparency through the chest, didn't have all of the back kibble, just make an awesome looking Bumblebee. I think that's something this line would really benefit from. And with this line, I kind of imagine the possibilities. What would an Ironhide look like? It doesn't seem like they can nail Ironhide in Masterpiece or in Chug, And I don't have the Ironhide from Siege. I do have the Siege Ratchet, and I was not highly impressed with it, but I think that Ratchet always looks better than Ironhide for whatever reason. The color scheme works better, I don't know. But Ironhide never seems to match this. They can do it now. What would they do with Jazz? Jazz could look awesome. You don't have to worry about the side flares on the lower part of the ankles there. You don't have to worry about the wheel well kind of flare. So you could just make it look good. So that would be awesome. I mean, Jazz would benefit from this so much. And as much as I actually like the Titan class version of Hasbro's Devastator, what if they did a Devastator? What if they did a Devastator? How big would it be? How would it look? Would it look super awesome, super cartoony? Would it look perfect? Now last I want to talk about something else. Oymec, or any of these other third-party companies. Black Mamba, we know Wei Zhang's not a thing, but Wei Zhang will come back with another name, I hope. I like what Oymec does the best, and here's why. They add die-cast, they add some paint to it where the die-cast is. They add a bit of improvement. Now, not improvement like Wei Zhang did, and not as over the top as Wei Zhang, but they kept that price point. In fact, in a lot of cases, cheaper than the figure that they were knocking off, but they always made it bigger. They sized it up, and that's something that I like. I like the idea of sizing it up, making it a little bit bigger, and hopefully we see that. Now, I know I shouldn't be talking about the KO, whatever, but there it is. So let me know what you think about this. What do you think about this toy line? Are you going to completely avoid it? Are you going to buy one or two and maybe try them out, see what it's like? Or are you all in on this? Are you really excited about this? Well, I am excited about it a bit. I'm in on it a bit. I don't know how deep it's going to go. Like, subscribe, try to hear him hang around.